At the first of the year, in spring, Benhadad assembled and counted the Arameans, Syrians, and went up to Aphek, east of the Sea of Galilee, to fight against Israel. The sons of Israel were counted and given provisions, and they went to meet them. The Israelites camped before the enemy like two little flocks of goats, with everything against them, except God, and the Arameans filled the country. A man of God approached and said to the king of Israel, "Thus says the Lord, because the Arameans have said, 'The Lord is a God of the hills, but he is not a God of the valleys,' I will give this great army into your hand, and you shall know, by experience, that I am the Lord." So they camped opposite each other for 7 days. Then on the 7th day the battle began, and the sons of Israel killed 100,000 of the Aramean foot soldiers in a single day. But the rest ran to the city of Aphek, and the city wall fell on 27,000 of the men who were left. Benhadad escaped and came into the city, going into an inner chamber, to hide. But his servants said to him, "We have heard that the kings of the house, royal line, of Israel are merciful kings. Please let us put sackcloth around our loins and ropes on our necks, as symbols of submission, and go out to the king of Israel, perhaps he will spare your life." So they put sackcloth around their loins and ropes on their necks, and came to the king of Israel and said, "Your servant Benhadad says, 'Please let me live.'" And Ahab asked, "Is he still alive?" "He is my brother." Now the men took it as a good omen, and quickly understanding his meaning said, "Yes, your brother Benhadad lives." Then the king said, "Go, bring him." Then Benhadad came out to him, and Ahab had him come up into the chariot. Benhadad, tempting him, said to him, "I will restore the cities which my father took from your father, and you may set up bazaars, shops, of your own in Damascus, as my father did in Samaria." Then Ahab replied, "I will let you go with this covenant, treaty." So he made a covenant with him and let him go. Now a certain man of the sons of the prophets said to another by the word of the Lord, "Please strike me." But the man refused to strike him. Then the prophet said to him, "Because you have not obeyed the voice of the Lord, behold, as soon as you leave me, a lion will kill you." And as soon as he left him, a lion found him and killed him. Then the prophet found another man and said, "Please strike me." So the man struck him hard, wounding him. So the prophet left and waited for King Ahab by the road, and disguised himself, as a wounded soldier, with a bandage over his eyes. As the king passed by, the prophet called out to the king and said, "Your servant went out into the middle of the battle, and behold, a man turned aside and brought a man to me and said, 'Guard this man, if for any reason he is missing, then your life shall be required for his life, or else you shall pay a talent of silver.' But while your servant was busy here and there, he escaped and was gone." And the king of Israel said to him, "Such is your own judgment, verdict, you have determined it." Then the prophet quickly removed the bandage from his eyes, and Ahab, the king of Israel, recognized him as one of the prophets. He said to the king, "Thus says the Lord, because you have released from your hand the man, Benhadad, whom I had devoted to destruction, your life shall be required for his life, and your people for his people." So the king of Israel went to his house resentful and sullen, and came to Samaria.